When we are teaching literature, we utilize different learning resources and teaching strategies. There is no such thing as one perfect approach to teaching literature. And as we develop strategies, we could not move away from embracing technology. Good morning, I'm Jedithvic Almuestro. I'm going to share with you Literature on Air, the use of educational podcasts as supplementary material. In the early 2000s, the learning environment changed from traditional to digital. We cannot ignore that technology truly helped education. Blogs, wikis, social networks, and podcasts are among the most common web-based tools being used in education. Through RSS, podcasts became available to various platforms like Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. According to the technology acceptance model, perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness predict technology acceptance. This model had been used in predicting students' intention to adopt mobile learning. In countries where English is used as foreign language, podcast is used to develop listening and speaking skills. Recently, Simeo Inotech launched its podcast Right Click in December 2020 as part of the capacity building program for ALS implementers here in the Philippines. In June 2020, Vibal launched its podcast Paaralan that talks about various topics in education. In foreign countries, it is widely used in universities. However, in the Philippine setting, it has to be explored, especially in basic education. The following questions bounded and guided the researcher. First, what are the pretest and post-test scores of respondents in online sections before and after the use of educational podcasts as supplementary material in studying literature? Second, is there a significant difference in the pretest and post-test scores? Third, what are the potential benefits of educational podcasts in studying literature? The study utilized mixed method research designed to answer research questions. For the population and sampling quantitative data, all students from two online sections had pre-test and post-test. Then for the qualitative data, purposive sampling was used. Here are the criteria. For the data gathering procedure, the researcher designed 10 podcast episodes as supplementary material in teaching literature. Suitable respondents listen to educational podcasts and answer pre-test and post-test. Answers from interview were analyzed through simple coding, and then while coding, the thematic analysis was used to interpret qualitative data. Conclusions and recommendations were formulated based on the result. According to this graph, it shows that the mean of pretest and post-test scores, which revealed a difference of 7.23, the computed p-value is negative 9.928, which is greater than the computed p-value of 1.48. This means that there is significant difference between the pretest and post-test scores of students. It can be concluded that the use of educational podcasts as supplementary material was effective. To answer what are the students' perceptions of the potential benefit of the educational podcast, a range of responses was elicited and 7 broad themes emerged from the analysis. First is the improvement of listening skills, dual tasking, improves English speaking skills, entertainment, a new learning modality, provides focus, and it provides in-depth discussion of the topic. Again, based on the analysis of data from interview, the following conclusions were crafted. First, a positive response on the use of educational podcasts in literature class. A notable comment was that the participant looks forward to the next episodes of the podcast. This study proved the technology acceptance model, but it does not end here because adaptability, accuracy, entertainment value, and innovativeness are also salient factors for students to use educational podcasts. Last is the in-depth discussion of the topic from on-topic guests elicit a strong motivation for students to listen to it. It could enhance learning experience and might be a potential learning tool in teaching literature. As one student remarked, it feels like I'm really inside the classroom, which indicates that learning through podcasts can reduce the feeling of isolation. A future study might explore the student-made podcast as a form of authentic assessment. Researchers might also investigate whether educational podcasts would be effective in other subjects like physics and philosophy. Here are the references.